asked you what the most important question is in an interview, whether it's a screening call or an interview with a hiring manager, people would probably say, oh, something like, well, what are your greatest strengths, or what's your biggest weaknesses, or any of the many tell me about a time when you, behavioral type questions. But after coaching hundreds of experienced professionals over the age of 45, I believe the most important question that is asked in an interview is actually probably one of the very first ones. Tell me about yourself. Or how would you define yourself? This should not be difficult, but for many, this will define so many aspects of who they are, their business speak, the way they communicate, and it really sets the tone for everything that follows. And here's what I see all the time is highly qualified executives, directors, VPs, managers, senior leaders, ICs walk into an interview and spend 5 minutes walking through 25 years of experience, job by job, company by company, title by title, or worse, going into a personal persuasion about all the wonderful things they've done in the past and all the clients that love them so much. Meanwhile, the interviewer is thinking, where is this going? Or did they even understand the question? So today I want to help you completely change how you answer this question. So you sound like an executive. You sound like a leader, not someone simply going through the parts of a resume or winging it worse. So this is what I want you to remember. When an interview says, tell me about yourself, they're not asking you to tell them your life story professionally. They already have your resume. They've already looked at your LinkedIn profile. They're asking something much different. They're really asking, can you help me understand in the next 90 seconds why you're someone I should keep talking to? Are you someone who has a strong business acumen? Think about that. This isn't a history lesson. It's a positioning statement. Your answer should create confidence. It should help them quickly understand who you are professionally, the business problems you solve, and why you belong in this conversation above everyone else. One of the biggest coaching moments I have with clients is helping them stop talking about themselves and start talking about what matters to the company they're interviewing with. There's a huge difference here. Many candidates begin with something like, well, I've been in project management for the last 25 years, mostly at X company. And then I went to Y company where I was promoted to this and took on these projects, solved these issues. None of those are wrong, not at all. They're simply not what the interviewer needs first. Remember this, experience is already expected. Relevance is required. If you've made it to the interview, they already assume that you're more than capable of doing the job. In this competitive market, they know who you are based on what they've read. Now they're looking for your confidence, your ability to communicate in business terms, your understanding of the role, and what really matters to them. Executive presence. Can this person think strategically? Can they clearly communicate? Can they solve our problems? Here's the framework that I teach all my clients. It's simple enough to remember, but powerful enough to completely change the direction of your voice in this interview. First, present. Who are you professionally? What do you do? What level do you operate at? What kind of organizations have you helped? This should be concise. You are introducing your professional identity, not reciting your biography. Second, problem. This is where most people completely miss the opportunity. Instead of talking more about yourself, talk about the business, their business. Read the job description. Do your research on the company. What challenges are they trying to solve for? What growth are they expecting? What are their operational efficiencies, customer retention, compliance, technology transformation, revenue, talent? Show them that you understand their world, or at least attempting to. When you do this, something powerful happens. You immediately separate yourself from the candidates who are only talking about themselves. Third, proof. Now connect your experience to the problems they have. Not every accomplishment, not every promotion, only experiences that demonstrate you know how to solve what matters to them. This is where outcomes matter. Leadership matters. Business impact matters. Show them evidence. And finally, your purpose. Close by saying what you're looking for next. Not because you need a job, but because this opportunity aligns with where you believe you can make the greatest contribution. Notice how different that feels. Instead of sounding desperate, you sound very intentional. And confidence isn't memorization. Here's something I always coach. Please don't memorize or read your answer. People can hear memorized answers. Instead, practice it until it becomes very conversational. I often tell my clients, you don't practice something, remember the words. You practice because you're going to remember your confidence. Confidence doesn't come from pressure. It comes from preparation. That's why I encourage everyone that I work with to actually say these things out loud, not once or twice, but 10 times. Record yourself. Walk around your house saying this out loud. Listen back. Understand when you ramble or hear those words that you're wasting, like and You'll hear when you're losing energy. And you'll also hear when you don't understand exactly what you do. And you're going to hear when you sound unsure. And every time you practice, you become more natural. Here's an example of a complete tell me about yourself. The way I describe myself, well, I'm a sales leader who enjoys building high-performing teams that consistently deliver predictable revenue growth. And throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to lead enterprise teams and organizations across companies like Microsoft, Dropbox, Oracle, TikTok, and all kinds of startup environments where the focus has always been the same. Build disciplined sales organizations, develop people, create repeatable growth. And the one thing I've seen across this whole SaaS industry within healthcare, companies are not just looking for leaders who can hit a number. They're looking for someone who can improve forecast accuracy, strengthen pipeline discipline, coach teams through very complex enterprise sales cycles, and create a culture of accountability where people consistently succeed and perform. That's really where I've spent my career. I've led organizations that are responsible for hundreds and millions of revenue impact, and I've coached sales leaders, account executives, inside sales reps. I've built scalable team processes and sales processes. I've helped teams execute without losing sight of a customer experience. And as I think about what's next, I'm really looking for an opportunity where I can help an organization continue to scale and develop great sales talent, and also build a high-performance culture that drives long-term growth. That's the kind of challenge that really energizes me and where I believe I can make the biggest impact. So, I defined who I was in one sentence. I speak to the company's challenges because I read the job description. And it wasn't just about my background. I used my experience as proof rather than just listing accomplishments and responsibilities. And I end it with a forward-looking purpose, which leaves the interview wanting to continue the conversation. So now it's your turn. Let me leave you with 3 practical actions. Number 1, write your own 90-second tell me about yourself. Not 5 minutes, just 90 seconds. Force yourself to focus only on what matters the most. Number 2, study the job description before every interview. Ask yourself, what business problems are they trying to solve for? Then intentionally connect your background to those needs. Stop talking about everything you've done and why you like to build relationships and trust. Yes, that's all important, but you must go beyond this. Start talking about what matters to them. And number 3, practice this out loud. Please don't just practice this in your head or just assume, oh, I can wing it when I get to the interview. Talk to your friends, talk to your spouse, record yourself on your phone and listen to it, or open up a meeting in Zoom and just you and Zoom hit record and then watch and listen back. Or better yet, once you practice inside of a community of professionals who'll give you honest feedback and encouragement. One of the biggest reasons my clients improve so quickly is because they stop preparing alone. Isolation rarely builds confidence. Conversation does. And if you've been interviewing, but you're not getting past that second or third round, well, it may not be your experience at all. It may simply be how you're communicating that experience. Remember, interviews are not about perfection. They're about a connection, clarity, and confidence, and helping someone see the value you'll bring before you ever start the job. So if this video has helped you, I would love for you to like it, subscribe to the channel, and please share it with someone who's navigating a career transition. And if you'd like help building your own interview strategy or refining your executive presence or just simply getting some clarity on how to position yourself in today's very competitive market, I'd love to talk with you. Just book a complimentary clarity call with me. If there's no sales pitch, there's no pressure. That's not who I am. Just an honest conversation about where you are, what's getting in your way, and what it might take to help you land your next role faster. The link is below. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. And as always, I'm cheering you on, and I'll see you in the next video.